Now, let's move on to see how we can actually set up ads on Facebook and Instagram. So go to Business Manager and click here to go to Ads Manager. And the first thing we will see here is choosing the objectives for your ad. Just like we discussed, Facebook provides 3 different buckets of ad objectives. And you can choose things like increase conversion or sending people to your website or increasing brand awareness. But for this exercise, let me choose send people to a destination and use this same campaign name, which is website clicks, and click this. Now, if it's your first time creating an ad, you need to provide some basic details about the ad account. Once you do that, move on. And now on this screen, what you see here is basically choosing your targeting options and thinking about different placements as well. So the first thing here is creating a custom audience. And like we discussed, you can choose to create a custom audience by uploading your customer email address or pixel based. But here we're going to move on with just core audiences. And for location, let's say we want to target San Francisco. Now here you can play around with the actual miles so that you can pretty much narrow the location. And let's see if we can add one more city, which is maybe Los Angeles. And again, you can play around with these numbers. And as you scroll down, you can also specify the ages that you want to target. So let's say 23 to maybe 35 based off our target persona. You can also choose your gender, but for this, let's choose all gender. And here, as you change these different variables, take a look at the audience definition and the estimated daily reach. And when I type in English or Spanish, you see that the actual audience definition and daily reach changed. And you need to make sure that you're not narrowing too much to limit your ad reach, but also not too broad. Now, to refine your targeting here, you can also add in additional interests like organic food. And you can also decide to exclude specific interest group or demographics to narrow your audience. And here in connection, you can choose a connection type, people who liked your page or other page. And again, look at the summary of your audience definition as you go through this process to make sure you are striking the right balance between narrowness and broadness of your targeting. And now here you can move on to placements. And like we discussed, this is where you can choose among all the different ad placements. So Facebook feeds, right-hand column, Instagram audience network. For this exercise, we will leave them as they are. And you can move on to choose your budget and schedule. You can even choose to change your ad delivery type. So for this ad type, we will choose link clicks because we are optimizing for bringing more people to our website versus anything like conversion. And you can even choose to change your bid amount. And I would usually begin with manual and try to give a slightly lower suggested bid and try to optimize from there. And you can also decide when you want to get charged, add scheduling, delivery type, and change your asset name and continue. And now here you get to choose the different formats for your ads. So these are all familiar ad formats by now, hopefully for you. And now you can choose to have carousel to play around with the preview here and choose either single image or video. But for this exercise, let's choose single image and let's choose our creative. So one thing that's really cool about Facebook ads is that you can actually choose among a lot of stock images that they provide. So for this exercise, I'm gonna choose something like, well, not this one, but maybe, well, maybe this one. This one looks much better. Okay, this one. And you can always add your own image if you can develop a nice looking image, but for our exercise, let's use this one, and you can look at the ad previews across all the placements and make sure your ads are looking good. And here you need to type in the destination, specific URL, or headline for your ad. So for this URL, let's type in our grocerynow.com. And once you do that, it's going to update it and type in headline something like get fresh groceries in 1 hour. And also make sure you provide really catchy text here. But for this exercise, let me just type in something like local, organic, convenient. You can also change the call to action button, but I'll usually leave it as learn more. And final check before you place order, check all the previews across devices and place order. That's it. So creating an ad on Facebook or Instagram is pretty simple process once you get used to it. But again, to be good at these ads, you need to be constantly tweaking your creatives or targeting and optimize them based on the numbers that you see on an ongoing basis.